Hello and welcome to Real Estate Real Talk. We are excited today to be diving into some facts and figures about the housing market in 2025, what we think is going to happen, and where we have come from. So I'm Merilee. It's nice to have you here. Let's just get into it. So we are February 28th, 2025, and have just received some good information from the Salt Lake Board of Realtors on our housing forecast for the year. So we listened to presentations from James Wood, who is an economist who works for the Kim Gardner Policy Institute, and from Lawrence Yun, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. And that was really good because we could get then a local perspective from James Wood and a national perspective from Dr. Lawrence Yun. So what did they tell us? Well, first thing we have to do is sort of understand where interest rates come from, because interest rates are the element that powers the real estate market. When we have really low interest rates and easy lending requirements, we have lots of buyers who qualify in the market, and all of those buyers come into the market, they make offers on homes, there aren't enough homes, so all of the homes end up getting multiple offers, which raises price appreciation really quickly. On the other hand, if we have high interest rates, then we have a housing market that can be a little more stagnant because not as many buyers can qualify, and so not as many offers are made. Multiple offers are rare, so pricing appreciation is slower. Now, over the last 63 years, prices for housing have appreciated every year about 4.63%. So if you have 4.63% or say 5% appreciation year over year for 63 years, then you're going to end up with a huge amount of equity in your house, even though there are some years where pricing and housing appreciation are really low. So looking at price appreciation for the past 83 years, you can see that appreciation really slows down when interest rates really go up. So I'm sure you remember in the 1970s and 80s, when interest rates were really high, we had appreciation between 1 to 7% in the 1970s and 80s. And then when we went through the housing bubble that burst in 2007 to 2011, we had appreciation that really dipped to as low as negative 12%, which was a bummer if you had to sell your house in 2008 because appreciation had dipped so low. But if you didn't have to sell your house, that was just a paper loss because it didn't materialize into real money. If you held your house, even for just a couple of years, by 2013, appreciation was up by 11%. And so over time, our average is about 5% a year, which is great, which means that buying residential property or commercial property is the best and easiest way to accumulate wealth. One segment of the population that gets a little bit left out are renters. Right now in Salt Lake County, there are about 354,000 renters, about 22% of the total population that is responsible for housing. So either people who are renting, the adults in the house, or people who are homeowners. Renters occupy about 355,000 of those spaces, or about 22%. Renters who can afford to actually purchase right now are about 89,000, so about 7% of the population in Salt Lake County can afford to purchase. What does that look like? Well, honestly, it's not easy. Right now, the median income required to purchase a medianly priced house in Salt Lake County is $180,000 of household income. So that's not easy for a lot of people to get there or are there right now. $180,000 of household income in order to buy the median priced house. Now, of course, there's lots of housing below the median price. You can get really nice housing in the 300,000s in Salt Lake County. That's going to be a condo or townhome, but still that is a foot into the housing market. So generally, what did we find out about the housing forecast going forward for the year? Well, according to Dr. Lawrence Yun, there will be slight appreciation, probably around that 4 to 5%, and the interest rates will probably not vary too much from where they are right now. So right now we're looking kind of in the low to mid sixes for interest rates. The projection is that we'll end this year and go into 2026 and possibly even through 2026 with interest rates in about the same range, somewhere between 6 and 7%. That makes it hard to qualify for the median priced home. One hack that you can use to get into the housing market is through new construction. So many of our wonderful builders along the Wasatch Front are offering great incentives right now, and they want to get you into their homes. They want to make it possible, and so they're providing lots of incentives to help with interest rate reductions and closing costs to get you into brand new housing. Now, why is this important? Well, ever since the housing bubble burst in the 2000s, 2007, 2008, we have had a decrease in the number of new construction homes being constructed, which means that year over year, we are getting farther and farther in the hole of housing inventory. So when we have higher housing inventory, more supply, it evens out the demand. Appreciation doesn't go up too high, but also it's easier to get into a home because there's less competition from other buyers. So why is it better to get into the housing market today as opposed to 2 years from now? Well, let's say, for example, you buy a house that's $500,000 and you can expect to get about 5% appreciation on average over the next year. That's $26,250. And then the second year after that, now your house is worth $526,250 or so. That's obviously an estimate. And then it's 5% appreciation on top of that. So at the end of 2 years, you're going to be looking at somewhere around $53,000 of appreciation over the next 2 years. And it's so much easier to gain equity through appreciation than through saving for it. If you have any questions, let's chat about it. My name is Merilee. This is Selling Salt Lake, and this has been Real Estate Real Talk. Catch us on all your social media platforms. You know what they are. You're out there Snapchatting and stuff. Just call us. The name of this podcast is Real Estate Real Talk, and we are joined by... Thanks so much for joining us today, and please catch us next time on YouTube and Facebook and all those things. No. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'd love to... Okay. I'm feeling too goofy. Thanks for watching today. Thanks so much for joining us today. Oh my God, that right there. Thanks for watching, Mom. See you on the gram.